interested?
Hello.
Welcome to season 2, episode 2. Do we want to do frights and delights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I go
do.
first?
Yes, you can go
Okay.
first.
So we had the Creators Coven Creepmas Market this past Saturday, so 2 days ago. And I love all the vendors there. They're so amazing. There are 2 specific vendors that I love or actually 3 specific vendors. The lovely person that you got my ghosty from, and I never remember the ghosty sticker, and I never remember what their business name is. So, but
I forget
too.
too.
And it happened to me like the last time we got stickers from them too.
Yeah.
Because I got a ghosty that says "Take your meds," and you got me one that said "Have the day you deserve."
Yeah.
And that's my favorite. But so you got me a sticker from them. So if I buy too many stickers, then my life is just a mountain of stickers. So Lemon Dawn Studios has MILF stickers. And the MILF sticker that I saw was, "Man, I love folklore."
Yeah.
And I got it. And then I went over to...
Because you took it literally like folklore, right?
Yeah. And then I had a mini meltdown at somebody else's table because I was walking past them and I was like, "Look what I got." And then they were like, "I'm going to see Taylor Swift next weekend or whatever." And I was like,
What?
"Why are you telling me that?" I was like, "I have feelings about that. I don't like Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah." And she was confused and I was confused. And then thank goodness her friend was there, because her friend was like, "Oh, you don't know that that's a Taylor Swift album." And I looked at the bumper sticker and I was like, fuck. I'm like, I can't put this on my car. People are going to think I'm a fucking Swiftie. And then she was like, "Well, maybe not." And I was like, "Wait a second. Is this Taylor Swift?" Because there's like haunted trees in the background. There's like a figure in the middle. And I was like, "Is that figure in the middle? Is that Taylor Swift? Do you think that she meant it as Taylor Swift or she meant it as like just folklore?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, we're pretty sure it's like Taylor Swift." And I was like, "Okay, well, oh no." This is the bumper sticker that I exchanged. It says, "MILF, man, I love a good full moon." She was very kind.
So she let you, can I see?
Yeah. She let me, yes.
That's very nice.
Because I had to go back to my booth. I didn't have time to exchange it right away. So when I went back to ask her, "Hey, does this really mean, like, does this mean folklore, or did you mean Taylor Swift?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's Taylor Swift reference." And also, blah, blah, blah from the other table came over and was like, "Did that lady come over and tell you that?" It was like, well, if you ever make just a folklore or cryptid something, like you have a consumer in me. So yeah, that's my fright, is that I almost put a Taylor Swift reference on my fucking van. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
I will always love the song "Picture to Burn" because that's the only Taylor Swift song that was on the radio when I was listening to the radio in 2012.
I don't know any by name.
It's really cute. It's like, okay, I don't know if that's the actual name of the song, to be honest, because it's just what is like most referenced in the song is like her burning a picture of like one of her ex's boyfriends, whatever. And it was a bop, yeah, but like just the shallowest fucking person. Like we've talked about this a lot, like dethroning celebrity and like never meet your fucking idols ever, because almost all of them, especially if they're like really, really like in the public, like mainstream.
Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions for sure.
I'm sure there are, but I haven't met any.
Not big,
Not big, no.
like Hollywood level.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay, maybe not. Don't meet your idols. Don't meet celebrities if you feel like, yeah,
meet your idols.
Your idols, yeah.
could be very cool.
Yeah, idols could be, yeah, like people that make you excited about what you're doing in life, those kinds of things. Like people, like, yeah, just don't elevate celebrities is I think what I'm saying.
It's the message.
Yeah. Because, well, or you're so disconnected from celebrity that you're like, this is a fucking cool bumper sticker, and then and then you almost like out yourself for the non-Swiftie fandom that you are a part of. Absolutely not.
Be hilarious. People are coming up to you, oh yeah, I love that album, and you're like, fuck,
Which
that's
album?
like the 10th person today. What is going on?
Yeah, what album? I have no idea. It was even like Folklore was even in my like in the font that I really love too, the chapbook font. Yeah, but
missed opportunity.
However,
that one is
wonderful. Lemon Dawn Studios, very, very good sticker quality, and just a lovely, lovely person. Yeah. So that's my fright.
What's your delight?
My delight is that I had a really good market experience with the Creators Coven. They are always so wonderful. Alex is the creator behind the Creator Coven, and she always puts on a wicked show, like a wicked market.
Is that the same? Was it the first time I came to visit
It
here?
is, yeah.
Because we went to 2 markets, right? We went to the
Roedde House,
and we went to
Creators Coven. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very cool kind of full circle thing, because now you are taking part in it.
Yeah, well, the reason why I wanted to go so bad is because I wanted to see what it was about, because we have been a little jaded from other markets and things like that, because like people will say that it's like an alt market, and then they'll bring things from like Temu and stuff, and then it's like, that's not alternative.
Yeah, and also that's not the point of a handmade market.
Yeah, I don't know, like I don't think a lot of markets are like advertised as handmade anymore, except for like the Etsy ones. Yeah.
It was good. It was busy.
Loved it.
It was very busy. I liked it. There was a lot of really cool vendors there.
I love, so we vended twice at the curling rink, the one that we went to with you at the Creators Coven. And so instead of doing the Abbey curling rink, Alex is going to do the Evergreen Hall from now on. Yeah. Because it's just it's
like a big gym.
It's a big gym, and there's a stage for the performers. So yeah. So I mean that's incredible, because there are a lot of opportunities for performers. So yeah, that's cool. It was a busy market. My kids volunteered. They were really happy and so cute.
They were adorable. Yeah. My stamp's gone now, but
yeah.
We came in and your kid took our stamp. And I was like, you're so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. And they both lasted the whole day. Yeah. Like 14 hours. Yeah. It was great. So that's my delight, is that the Creators Coven is wonderful. And it was I specifically didn't book any markets after this last one, because I wanted that to be our capstone. Like the market season is over, because it's always such a good experience there. So I wanted to end on like a good note. Yeah. Not that any other markets wouldn't be, but I just know for a fact that it's close to home. It's just it makes sense that it would be our last one of this season. So we're done until April-ish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a busy few months.
July to November. Yeah.
Yeah, with markets. A lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do that again.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially when you're driving like far.
Yes.
You know, if you're if it's more than like an hour drive to get in, it's kind of a lot.
Yeah,
like
getting in, setting up,
forget stuff accidentally, or you have the kids with
Mhm.
you, or what have you.
There's a lot of logistics and brain power. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But good, delightful, just delightful.
Good.
Tell me about yours.
Okay.
Do you want to start with the fright or delight?
I do.
Okay.
Because my delight is a segue. Okay, so my fright. Originally I had some like benign kind of thing, but as we were putting together our notes and stuff for this episode, and I was, compiling all my stuff, and this is not a new thought for me.
No.
This is something that has been, like, I've felt this way for a long time, but it's finally forming into like a cohesive kind of thing. It's a spicy. I have a spicy take today.
It's an actual stance that you are like grounded in now. Yeah.
So I'm going to read it because that's what I'm going to do. So my fright for this episode is: people need to ease up on their opinions, experiences, and evidence gathering of the paranormal. I wish more people approach the paranormal with curiosity and the notion that we're all just guessing at what's going on based upon our own experiences. We all perceive reality differently, right? And no one holds the answers over another when it comes to these things.
Right.
None of us know what happens when you die. None of us know any of that, right? It's all just speculation. So I find it very off-putting when people throw around their experiences as if it's fact while attempting to discredit other people's experiences.
Yes, yeah.
If you and another person are standing in a room and you experience the room as being cold and dingy, the wallpaper is peeling in the one corner, and the room smells musty from age, but the other person experiences the room as slightly warm, with the light filtering in through the gap in the curtains, and they can smell the pine saw that was used to clean the floor yesterday morning. Neither person's experience is right or wrong.
Right.
They are both valid.
Yes.
They both offer valuable information about the room.
Yes.
They are both biased through the lens of each person's perception.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it wrong or right. It's neutral.
I love how you expressed that thought as a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when one person tries to put their experience above everyone else's, they're right and you're wrong. That's when I get annoyed. I don't want to explore the paranormal with people like that.
No.
I just don't.
No.
And
they take the fucking fun out of it.
They do. And I find that people like that are driven by ego instead of curiosity. They want to find the evidence that trumps all other people's
experiences
and experience, right? I figured out the answer. I have a definitive answer of what happens when you die. And it doesn't fucking work that way.
Yeah, no.
Nobody will. And what I believe and what you believe might be very, very different.
Yeah.
But neither of them are wrong. Right? It's just us guessing. We're just guessing based on our perceptions and how we move through the world. And I've noticed that as we start doing things together and in person, and we start moving about,
your back's getting up
through
in spaces. Yeah.
And I'm just like,
it's hard to not say something like, are you trying to be shitty right now? You know, like I'm not above just doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll have to take it opportunity by opportunity because in like I mean, there's going to be people that don't like that take, and that's fucking fine.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's that, it's the right one. I know that's contradicting. But
yeah, I just wish
it's how you can be open.
Yeah. And I just wish that people would ease up and have more fun about it and be more curious about things instead of trying to compete with each other for recognition or the most conclusive evidence or like whatever is motivating them to behave this way with other people in spaces. Like, cut it out. You know?
Bad puppy.
So that's my fright.
That's a good fright.
My delight is the weekend of November 1st, 2nd, and I mean 3rd technically, but that was my rest day. But November 1st and 2nd was just the experiences that I had over those 2 days were just absolutely wonderful. On November 1st, it was a Friday, I got to go with my partner to Washington, and we got to see the last stop of the Haunted Objects tour. Absolutely amazing. I wish I had like eyeballs that recorded things and I could just watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I really hope that one day they kind of put that out on DVD or something. Like, I would buy it for sure.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful, and just like being in the same room and just hearing them talk about their experiences and you know, some of their projects and stuff. It was just really cool. And it was a wonderful evening. And then we stayed in Washington for the night. We woke up bright and early and hightailed it back
across the border all the way to the west end of Vancouver.
To Vancouver, because you and I were invited by the staff at the Roedde House to take part in the would it be the last ghostly tour of the season?
I think so. Yeah. It was their Halloween weekend tour. Yeah.
Ghostly
tour. Yeah.
So that's what the bulk of the episode is about today. We're going to talk about our experiences at the Roedde House. And just I was exhausted by Sunday. I was exhausted.
We did 8 sessions.
Yeah.
And they were all 15 minutes each. They went from 6:15 until 9:45.
Wow.
Yeah. So 8 sessions.
And I don't think we got out of there till like 11. By the time we were all packed up. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a long couple of days for me, but just it was like a monumental chunk in my paranormal journey.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's one for the diary.
Yeah. That's my delight for this episode.
Those are great delights. I'm so fucking stoked that you got to not only do like the last show of the Paramuseum. What are they called now?
The Newkirk Museum of the Paranormal, I think.
The Newkirk Museum, yeah, of the Paranormal. So I'm really glad that you got to do their last one. That that feels really special.
Yeah.
And the timing was right, I feel like, for jumping in from you know when you go to like a really great show or a concert and you're like sad that it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have had that sadness, but you got to
I got to mitigate it.
You got to mitigate it because you were doing something like
yeah,
in the same like vein, right? So it was like
because it was like I was all like jazzed up on paranormal stuff, and then I just got to go and like actually do paranormal stuff.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, it's. I think
I wouldn't do it every single day,
every single weekend, probably not. But like at least now you know that you can do it.
Yeah.
you can have like
So
back
good.
to back to back to back to back experiences.
Because I bought the tickets for that tour before we even moved here.
I know.
I was like, I know we're gonna live here by then.
Yes.
So that's the closest stop.
Yeah.
It was, if we were in Ontario, they made a stop in New York somewhere.
Mhm.
So we would have
Oh my
went to,
gosh.
that would have been the closest. We would have gone to that one.
I feel like that one would have been.
Apparently a lot of Canadians went to that one. So that it would have been fun to do that. I don't think there was as many Canadians at the Washington one, but I don't know, just the energy was really good. And like, because if you're familiar with the Newkirks at all, they had ventriloquist dummies created to look exactly like them. Like, and like part of the tour was bringing these ventriloquist dummies with them and having people put, like, essentially haunt them, like put their energy into it and haunt these dolls. And I'm telling you, like, we stood there and were staring at them. Joe, who doesn't often like experience traditional paranormal type stuff, was like, the one on Dana's eyes just moved. Like, I watched them just move. And they were saying, because they're in these, I keep doing that.
They're in the tubes, right?
These little tubes, right? And when they would put them in the tubes at the beginning of the night, they would be facing outward.
Yeah.
And then when they were covered, and when they would take the cover off, by the end of the tour, like the last few stops, they would be turned and facing each other. Like, what? And in their carrying cases, they've been hearing like knocks on the inside, and like their experiments definitely working. So
dolls and ventriloquist dummies are, I think, it makes so much sense that they would be one of the most haunted objects.
Yeah.
Because they're the humanness of them.
Yep, the personification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, like, and the way, especially with like the moving mouths and stuff, like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I think because of the high emotions that dolls can elicit.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like, you either are absolutely terrified of them, or
just like clowns.
Yeah. Or they remind you of, like, you have it like, oh, I love dolls. Like, reminds me of my child. I had a really special one when I was a kid. Or so there's these like really strong emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that could be why they're also one of the most like hauntable.
Yeah, they are they're hauntable. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Very hauntable.
Okay, so do you want to get into the Roedde House?
I sure do. Yes. Yeah.
So, like I said, we were invited to help out with this tour, and of course we said yes.
Yes, we said yes. Yeah. We were there with the folks of Haunted History BC.
The wonderful ladies of Haunted History BC, and Lydia of Ghostly Vancouver Tours was also there. She's wonderful.
They had 2 readers, a fellow downstairs and a practitioner upstairs in the boys' room.
Yeah.
And we were in the girls' room.
Yeah. And it was neat because each of the stops, there was a different like team, like, or not team, but like paranormal explorers, enthusiasts, whatever, or like a medium. And so you go through the tour and you're learning the history of the family and the building
with Sarah and Lydia.
Yeah. And then you stop and you have a little demonstration, a little on the fly paranormal exploration in each stop.
Some of the guests also brought their own equipment. So
I loved that.
I loved that too.
Yeah. So it was very interactive and fun. Okay, so I thought I would give a little history, a quick history of the Roedde House. In case people are not familiar, the Roedde House was built for Gustav and Matilda Roedde, who moved into the house in 1893. The house was designed by BC architect Francis Rattenbury, who also designed the famously haunted Empress Hotel in Victoria, BC, which I hope we get to explore one day.
Oh, fuck yeah, we are.
The Roedde House is located in Vancouver, BC, and the building became a heritage building in 1976. And the Roedde House Preservation Society was formed in 1984, the same year I was born.
Ooh, haunting.
Since then, members and staff of the Roedde House have worked hard to glean every detail possible from historical records, restore the interior to as close to the original house as possible, and even have been able to consult with surviving family members to learn history and obtain many photos.
That's my favorite
and
part.
Items that belong to the Roedde family themselves.
Yeah.
Now, all of this information is available on the Roedde House website. I'll leave the link in the show notes for that. But some quick history of the Roedde family. Gustav Roedde, born in 1860, was a bookbinder from Germany. Gustav and family moved to Vancouver, and Gustav opened the city's first bookbindery in 1888. It's still in operation today, just under different ownership.
I'd love to go one day.
Me too.
I love books so much.
After that, the house also functioned as a boarding house for a while and low-cost rentals before eventually becoming a museum. There are a few members of the Roedde family we're going to talk more about, but we'll get into that in more detail soon. For now, that's a very condensed history of the Roedde family and the house that they spent a good portion of their lives in. So I'm going to show you a picture of what it looks like.
View on YouTube.
So yeah, I hope you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening, I am just showing a couple of pictures of the outside of the house
And
right now.
we can always pop in at what time these clips are, so you don't have to listen to the whole thing on YouTube if you don't want to.
Yeah. So this is the Roedde House. This is
in the Barclay Square.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here's a kind of a clearer picture. So this is the front, the outside. We were on, if you're looking and you see a little turret on the far side, that's the side of the house we were on. So we were in the bedroom, and then right beside the bedroom was stairs leading up to that turret. And we were in the girls' room, as you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have a few more pictures.
See them.
Yeah. So this is the girls' room. This picture, though, is a little older. So when we were in there, there's a lot more stuff.
There's a dresser on the opposite side. There's right next to the window. There's like a small, not armoire, just a small, beautiful kind of. I always call things altars, but it's not an altar. It's
a hutch.
No. Because
the thing where the face washing basin was
yes. So it was just an old piece of Victorian furniture that had a couple shelves and things like that, and that's where the picture of the Roedde children were on. Yeah. So that would have been right where the secretary desk is, right there.
And then this is Anna Henrietta.
That's Anna Catherine.
Okay.
Yeah, Anna Catherine was the nurse.
Okay.
The second,
mixed up.
She was the second born.
Okay. And I have some stuff to share about the two Annas. And then this is both of our favorite room.
Yeah, I love this room. This room connects to the boys and the girls' room, and it also connects to the balcony. I desperately want to go on the balcony, so badly.
Do they let people?
I have no idea. I haven't I haven't had an opportunity to ask. I'm just waiting for the right time. But I'm just making note that it's like, it's in there. It's like one of those places that I'm just like, I need to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are my pictures. I love the sewing room. That's my favorite little space.
Yeah. It definitely holds like a lot of life in that room, because
Yeah.
it's right in between the two children's rooms where the two kids' rooms would have been. And, like, it feels calm in the sewing room, because it feels like that's the place where, you go to get things mended,
Yeah.
but also like to sit and chat with your mom.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it feels really nice in there.
And like from a parenting standpoint, it's kind of genius because she was able
Oh, yeah.
to keep an eye on both the girls and the boys at the same time.
Yeah.
And she could do her mending, her sewing, whatever. And she's like she's got to look in each room.
Yeah. She's
So
got a
convenient.
yeah.
Conveniently built. I love it.
I do want to say a couple of things about houses and how wonderful it is to explore not only like preserved houses, but houses that have also had lives outside of like the family that constructed them,
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I get
So they're sentient, and they have like houses absorb so much life and energy, and it's a really beautiful feeling to be able to walk along the same steps that they did countless times. How many times were the stairs tread upon? How many times was this window looked out of? Like those echoes of energy are so beautiful. Within my practice as a medium and animist, I find this happened at the Overland too. When I know that I'm going to a place that has like a lot of energy, a lot of history, when I think about the place, I just kind of like start like daydreaming almost. And the word rapier came to mind a lot when I had just gotten home from dog, bird, and cat sitting for you.
Yeah.
And I was having a shower, and I was thinking about the Roedde House, and the word rapier just kept coming in my head. And I got out of the shower, and it still was there. So I asked Ryan, I was like, what the fuck is a rapier? And Ryan's like, oh, it's a small, like pointy little sword. And I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously just going to make a note of it.
Yeah.
So I did, and it didn't come up, but it's still, that word is now like connected to that house for some reason. Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe it will come up eventually, because it really like it's in there.
Like there might even be an item in there somewhere.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need like it might not even be connected to the roadies themselves. Yeah. It could be somebody else. So yeah.
Because didn't Sarah say that some of the stuff that, because obviously they can't have all the stuff that belonged to the roadies.
Oh, a lot of stuff
some of
isn't.
it was just from that era, just to show you what things would have looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe they have something in there that's like
possibly
a little pointy sword.
Yeah. They have done the I made a couple notes, and I don't know where they are now. Oh yes, the restoration of the rooms is really sweet. The Preservation Society's interpretation of what a girl's bedroom would be like in that era is really lovely, like with all the toys and the teddy bears.
Yeah.
And the pictures of their descendants, and like the picture that Luna pulled up with Anna Catherine's picture, and
her nursing stuff.
So that isn't her nursing stuff. It's just from the era.
So okay,
So it is a mix between, and it's really cool to have a tour there, because then you can ask like, did this belong? Yeah. And then you can really find out what, like, it is a lot of their interpretation of that Victorian era. Yeah.
Interesting. I love it. To circle back to like what you were saying about exploring like preserved houses and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I love it's just so fascinating.
Yeah,
to
it's like the
see,
creeks talk.
hmm and to like get it's like going back in time,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, especially with the Roedde House because it's so well preserved. Yeah.
And you don't it doesn't feel the same as if when you just like, search something up and read about it
Yeah.
online or read it in a book and see some pictures.
Yeah.
It's a lot different feeling when you're in the space and experiencing the energy yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So cool.
Very. Yeah.
I absolutely love the house and the stained glass. They've got some stained glass pieces.
Gosh, yeah. We are suckers.
Like, why don't we
stained
make
glass.
houses that have stained glass windows anymore? I'm mad. I'm actually mad.
I feel like people just don't want to live in haunted places. You know?
I do.
You know? When I have community members come up to me and ask me like, I feel like my house is haunted and it's like a new build. It takes everything in me not to be like, it's not your fucking house, it's you. That's not always true. I am being sarcastic and bitchy, but
there's nuance.
There's nuance, but it is always it is like, okay, you have to tell me a lot more information because I will take I live in a 1965 like walk up.
Yeah.
And I'll believe that thing is fucking haunted till the day I die.
Oh, it is.
But if you tell me you live in an attached suburban like area and you tell me that that your space is haunted, like I will go and like check it out, but 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 times it's the people around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it usually has to do with spiritual hygiene.
Interesting.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. You can't dabble
and not have good spiritual hygiene
and not cleanse yourself every fucking now and then. Like, come on. Also, cleansing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the intersection between witchcraft and the paranormal.
Okay, so can I talk about the two Annas quickly?
Yeah, I have lots to say about them too. So,
okay,
like,
cool.
we can chat.
So, the reason why I wanted to specifically talk about the two Annas is because
we were in the girls' room.
We were in the girls' room, yeah. And the one Anna grew up in that room.
Yes. The turret.
Oh, sorry, the turret.
I mean, like she would have been in that room. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So we had some very interesting things come through when we were doing the Estes Method.
Yeah.
So we're going to share clips of that, but I wanted to specifically kind of give a description of who they were.
Yeah.
So that our listeners can understand why we were so like excited and just jazzed about our experiences that night. So the Roedde's firstborn, Anna Henrietta, tragically passed away at the age of 4 from eating poisonous berries. This happened before the family had moved into the house in Vancouver. I'm not sure where.
They were in Victoria.
Okay.
They lived in Victoria. They met in the States and then they lived in Matilda and Gustav is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was for our listeners, but I was looking at you. I'm so sorry. They met and then they moved to San Francisco and then they moved to Victoria and then Vancouver. Yeah.
So that was the first Anna. She never got to live in the home in Vancouver, unfortunately. And then after moving into the house in Vancouver, the Roeddes had another daughter who they named Anna Catherine. and she was named after the firstborn,
Yeah.
Anna. And Anna Catherine actually did grow up in the Roedde House, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
And as an adult, she went to nursing school, but in her second year as a student, she was horribly murdered while on duty by one of the patients.
It was actually, she switched shifts. She was not supposed to be there.
Oh,
I know.
that's horrible.
Yeah. So it's supposed that the assailant, her murderer, thought that she was the other nurse, potentially, that she had switched shifts with, because he had just been released.
That's awful.
Very, very tragic. Yeah.
Very tragic for both of them.
And it is said that the Roedies and their descendants will not name any of their children Anna from henceforth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah. It really does. But I feel like Anna Henrietta protected Anna Catherine as best she could in the spirit realm.
Yeah. Normally we don't get like too into like the tragic kind of stuff about these types of things.
It's relevant.
But
I feel like
relevant.
It's if it's not relevant, then it feels inflammatory.
Yeah.
But it is relevant, and I think that there's an importance in telling people's stories, especially if they are victims of horrible, and like femicide is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, she was a nurse in the night. It was 1923 when she passed.
Yeah.
And so like women have been getting murdered for a very long time. And she was in a really nurturing profession, and she did not deserve it.
No.
So I think that, well, nobody deserves to be murdered.
Yeah.
We do tend to steer clear from the like true crime aspect of podcasting,
and the focusing on the trauma.
Yeah, not glorifying that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the Roedde House is not a stranger to having like true crime elements, which is we can't honor the history without actually like telling it, right?
You can't just tell the good parts,
the
bad ones.
Yeah, and it makes a difference to the understanding of how the energy moves through the house as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. You said you wanted to say some things about
the Annas? Yeah. So we didn't find out until after our sessions that the Anna Henrietta hadn't lived in the house.
Yes.
So I thought that was really, really interesting, because I had assumed that the youngest, or the firstborn Anna Henrietta had lived in the house. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because especially with some of the experiences we were having and how playful and childlike they were, our brains were like, well,
connection. Yeah.
If she was 4, so we connected it with her, but we'll get more into that in a minute.
Do you want to hear about my psychic impressions before, like, while you were setting up?
Yes.
Okay. So, before sessions, I went, when you were setting up and getting your spirit and like tech in order, I just listened to the house. That's just how I go into spaces with Luna in this way, because I like evidence. I'm not saying you don't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt
you. I like to have like moments of like, you don't get like the Amanda like face without like trying for it, you know? So I just listened to the house, and I tapped into, all the experiences and all the lessons that I've learned over the last year, like with Sterling Moons, modern mediums. And so I just listened to the house. And some of the impressions that I got were when I walked through the room, the first thing I got was "Don't feed the crows" in a very stern tone, and then but it was a seagull that I saw in my in my mind's eye. I had the feeling of watching something drop off the balcony. So all of these things I'm writing in my journal, and I don't tell Luna. Like I don't think you
No,
heard.
you didn't tell me anything until way later in the evening.
And so I had the feeling of something dropping off the balcony, and I asked a couple times about this in the sessions, and I think there was like one mention of something, but then this is the one that really stuck out. So I had a vision of a small child dancing and jumping and spinning in the door of the girls' room. And I went towards the door, turned my head to the left, and saw what I thought was closet doors. So it's actually the doors to the turret.
Yeah.
But I didn't find this out until
halfway through.
It was more than halfway through. It was our set. We had just finished our 7th session. No, our 6th session. And so when I looked at these doors, because it's a door, but it's like cut in half. So it looks
like
really
closet
cool.
doors.
It looks really cool. Like I really like the doors. But I had the sensation of like a child like hiding in the closet space, what I thought was the closet space. And when I came back into the room, I had the sensation of moving my head down to where like the light switch was and like just resting my head on the door jamb. And it was like I had done that like a million times in that house before. It was and so in this case, it was like looking to see if like somebody was there.
Yeah.
So when I came back, pressing my ear to the door jamb as if I was a small child peering into the room, and I just listened for a few moments, and then I went and sat back down. Once I sat down, I had the very vivid scene of a nondescript child peering into the room just as I had, with their head close to the threshold of the door, and then zipping past into the sewing room through the boys' room. And it happened all night. It was like this. Like I know that if you're not watching it, you can't see my hand motion, but it was like from right to left and around, like a horseshoe. It was like, and it always like, it started here and it ended here, and then it started here and it ended here. So it ended in the boys' room, like right at the end, the doorway of the boys' room, and then it like the energy like hops to where the turret is, and then zips around. So like it's an actual shape. Yeah. Anyways, I fucking feel energy weird. I don't. So weird.
It's cool. It's like that echo though.
Yeah.
Loop.
Yeah. So, and I felt very confident in saying that, like, it felt like a child was like looking to see if mom was there so that they could go.
Yeah.
Like, gotta go.
What you just said, I wish I had my little notepad.
I said it a bunch of times.
I know, but because I listened to the audio
just
a bunch
now,
today, there's a connection with that.
Yeah.
So do you want to get into the audio now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, so unfortunately, we forgot to record the first 2 sessions.
Okay, so I will.
Let's go through that first.
So the session 1, so I usually take like really, like when I transpose our sessions, they're usually, the spirit box / Luna channeling, and I write my questions as well.
Yeah.
But I only wrote some specific things from each session.
Yeah.
Just things that stuck out. So, if it doesn't feel like the full message, that's why.
Yeah.
However, I can say like there was a lot of like minor words, but these are the ones that really stuck out. Felt connected, specifically from sessions 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
So, rise off the threshold. 8 p.m. Connor, in all directions. And that was it from session. Or no, sorry, 20th anniversary. And then that was it for session 1. Session 2, I'm in the archives. Connor, 70s birthday. Lydia, right stage wall. Look inside. That was the second Connor.
Yeah. So what was interesting, I found, was the name Lydia coming up, because
Yes.
Lydia was helping do the tours. Like, I think she had a lot of the history that she was sharing with people. So it felt interesting to me, like they were recognizing
that Lydia was there.
that she was there.
And that she was honoring their history and sharing her experiences there.
And then like Connor coming up a few, like, came up multiple times, and
it came up 3 times.
And it's odd. Like, we do get names, but not that often.
Not that often. And it's also strange because it's really important to us to cite our sources.
Yeah.
And the Estes Method.
We have a whole Patreon
we
post
literally
about it.
to honor where these systems come from. We created a Patreon post so that we could have
public.
Yeah, and it's on our link tree.
Yeah.
Because we want people to know that we don't just take things and use things.
Yeah.
I'm not
about that.
We understand where it comes from. We make sure that when we're in sessions with people that they understand. Like, this is a spirit box. The method that we use is called the Estes Method. It was, developed in Estes, Colorado at the Stanley Hotel by Carl Pfeiffer, Connor Randall, and Michelle Tate.
Yeah.
And so that was something that you said a lot.
We were saying that like
over and over and over again.
Like we got into a
but
groove,
the first
and we had our little intro, and we'd be like, "This is us. This is what we do."
But
we're using
first
the Estes Method.
The first session, Connor
this is who
came
created it. Yeah. So
that's why I
found saying Connor, but and then we couldn't figure out any connection.
No.
But there's a clip in one of the clips. There's some stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll go through them as they go. Some of them are a bit longer. Okay. So audio.
Play it. So this is session 3.
Yes. And I just want to preface these by saying, one, I hope you can hear them. The audio, some of it is a little better than others. It was just a little recorder in the room.
Yeah.
It does pick up some background noise where we were situated. We were in one room, and there was another, there was someone else positioned right beside us. So there are points where you can hear her talking. I tried to cut it down as much as I can. Just know that there's some background noise. I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And these clips are condensed. So I took the entire session, which was roughly 15 minutes, and I just cherry picked out the parts that felt significant or important, and I condensed the silences, because if you've ever watched one of our spooky phone lives, you'll know that when we do the Estes Method, sometimes there's long pauses where I'm not saying anything or you're not saying anything. It's just quiet. I cut all of that out just for time's sake, or this episode would be like 5 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that being said, let's get into it. This is session 3. Come and find me.
Are we playing hide and seek? Were you in the closet?
How long have you been gone?
Sometimes it feels
I'm alive.
Sometimes it feels like they're talking to each other, like in the
waiting
ocean.
out there.
I wonder if there's another group waiting. Are we intercepting a conversation?
I'm outside.
Okay.
Don't worry.
We're not worried. Thank you for your concern, though. Do you like when people come to visit the house?
Will I see you tomorrow?
Not likely. Unless you're a part of our our spirit circle. Are you a part
I'll
of...
miss you.
Oh, that's so sweet. We shall miss you too. And who is Connor? Like, we keep making note that the Estes Method is like Connor Randall and Carl Pfeiffer.
More details.
You
sitting at home.
Just research more, you'll get it. Said every archivist ever.
Are you gonna play hide and seek with us?
I mean, like, I would consider it, but I don't think Luna's up for it. If anybody else wants to, though.
It might be hard to find them.
Yeah. You could... Well, how will we know if we found you? It's a good question.
You can find you.
Turn around.
No thanks.
No.
The dolls back here are kind of...
Oh, yes.
a little much. I just became aware of them too, which is why I got up. Yeah, so...
Okay. So interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because we were just talking about Connor, the Connor thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, more details at home. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
And you made a comment about being an archivist.
Yeah.
And like, that's something that's come up in conversation.
Yeah.
So I just find that an interesting connection.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then like,
I'm Alive. That was really interesting.
Yeah. And because I don't really remember the first two sessions myself, but from listening here, this is where that play started to amp up. And
Come and find me.
Yeah. As we go through these clips, you'll see it builds and builds. And I find it interesting with how you were experiencing this loop.
Yep.
This child kind of running through that circle, that little circuit. And it's like, let's play, come and find me.
Yeah.
Right? It's that.
Yeah.
Like, I can picture a child in my head being like, I want to play, like, and they take off and start running and they're like, come find me.
Yeah.
So I just love that. I love that, like, this, it's,
this whole experience was so incredible.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So the next one is very short. We didn't get a lot during this session. I don't know. You might have some stuff in your notes to add. But I didn't really find anything significant in the clips.
Okay.
Okay, so can our friend come?
Yep. Does your friend have a name? Where is your friend now?
Blue-eyed doe.
What is...
At your door. Open it.
Yeah. That was definitely the most significant part, I feel like. Play, they were 12. Can't wait. Also was in my notes. And one of the lovely volunteers came up and talked to us a little bit about their, the paranormal in their lives. And then they were like, smells like warm berries in here.
Yeah. That
was really interesting. So I made note of that. And at 8 p.m., I asked the group if there was a person named Connor. And then gonna get them. Number one, I'm not going yet. And that was like right around the time where they were coming to like check on us to see if we were done yet. So walk a long way, blue-eyed doe at your door, open it. So yeah, that was it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the phone?
Luna is still the phone.
Amanda.
That's me. Anybody else's name on it?
Who's there now?
A number of lovely folks who are investigating along with us. Who are you? Could you introduce yourself, please?
There it is.
There what is?
Poor old sap.
Oh, that's very colloquial for the time. Who's a poor old sap? Are any of
Here I am.
Where are you? Are you just communicating, or
All
are you
different names.
Are you somewhere in this space?
And this is the family.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for having it in.
Which way do you go?
That depends on what our intention is, I guess.
The room.
I would go out the door.
You won't let me.
Yeah, we would let you. Absolutely.
How long can I be?
It's up to you. We don't have any control over what you do as a spirit. You are autonomous. Why do you feel like we would have control over it? Are you very young?
Leviathan.
What is that? Is that like is that a Bible verse?
Outside is calling. I've been waiting here.
I don't know.
It's actually working.
This is working.
I want to speak.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
You took out the roasted chicken part.
I did.
At 8:21, just after the poor old sap, Luna smelled roasted chicken.
Yeah. And it was like somebody was making a delicious smelling, and then it was gone. I don't get those very often.
No.
It was weird. I should have left that in. But first we have this Here I Am, which connects again with this playful
hide and seek. Come find me.
Yeah. And then the poor old sap.
That was so funny.
And this is around the time where I think dots started to be connected about because there was questions being asked, like, can I do this? Type of energy. And
as soon as I said you're autonomous, I knew. I was like, oh, you are a child.
Yeah.
You are asking for permission because you are small.
Yeah. And it's like that would have been how it was, right? Can I go here? Can I do this? Am I allowed to blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And you had started out being like, you're autonomous, you can do what you want, and then you can hear it, or I can hear it, like where you're like, oh,
are you young?
And it's like, okay, this is making sense. And it's just more things that start connecting. And I found that really interesting. And then towards the end, there's also a piece where it's a different side of the Estes Method, where it's like the spirits are talking to each other.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before.
Intercepting a conversation.
Yeah, it's like we are listening into a conversation.
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Yeah.
And this is where it starts. This theme starts. You'll hear it a couple of times in the rest of the clips, but it's like they're instructing. One of them is instructing another one. This is how you use the spirit box. This is how you talk. You get them to talk for you. You got to talk into here, and you got to come over here and do this, and then they say it, or like it's just you get these little clips, and when you listen to it, what I noticed going through the clips is that when you started to take out the longer pauses, you start to really hear the pattern where because while this is happening in real time, it might be like, over here, 20 seconds go by, talking to this, another 30 seconds go by, the little red light. right?
I used to find this when I was clipping our videos for like condensing them into 1 minute, because when you take the spaces out, you can, it's like fully formed thoughts and sentences and like directions.
You really start to see, right? And in the moment while it's happening, you get like one thing is said and you're like, oh, what does that mean? I don't know. But then when you reflect back on it, you're like, oh, okay, this is what was happening. Or, you know, even just after the session, you notice.
Yes.
Or like after. So it's just really interesting.
Very, yeah.
And I noticed this starting to pop up here.
So there's a connection that I found with the Leviathan mention.
Oh, yeah.
So
tell me, please.
that was, so I brought a mirror from home, and I consecrated, I told it that I was going to use it for like your mind now kind of thing, like, because it was originally going to be one that we sold, but I was like, who wants to come on adventures with me? And Ryan and I talked about the one that I brought, and I was like, yeah, it's that one, totally. But where it was sitting in with its friends, the other mirrors that need homes, it was sitting like mirror to mirror. And I don't know if you, like, when I say portal, I don't mean in like a silly little way. I mean more like,
or like demons or whatever.
I mean it like window to window almost.
Yeah.
Like, so Ryan doesn't often play video games, but when he has like downtime, that's what he's doing right now, because his brain is so like it's going all the time.
Yeah.
So he's
and they're a good way to just shut off.
They are a great way to relax, especially for an ADHD person. Yeah. Because you're still doing something, but it allows your brain to shush for a bit. Just a little bit, yeah. So he is playing a game. It's a hunting game, and there's a Leviathan mountain. So it's like in the world scene, the game map in the map that he was in, there was a Leviathan mountain. So he supposes that because he was talking to Bowden about it that night, like Leviathan the mountain.
So because the mirror is like kind of a connection to your house,
he thought possibly
something from your house might have popped through for a second. We were talking about Leviathan. Just want you to know that.
So all those mirrors got a very good cleanse that night. Yeah, because in the moment you had mentioned, like, could that be a Bible verse or something? It is a Bible verse. But we didn't look into that. Oh, no. And I don't think I'm going to. No. Maybe I will, but we get Bible verses sometimes. I like this connection better, so I'm gonna go with that one. Well, and there wasn't a lot of, like, if there were more than one like Bible verse mentions, then maybe we would try to connect some threads, but it was only the one mention, so it's not really worth our time to read the fucking Bible. No. I've read enough of it. It's not an intriguing story to me. No. Me Christian mythology just doesn't have the zhuzh that I'd like. Yeah. No. Are you ready for the next one? I am. This is session 7 or 6? 6. Nice. Okay. Oh, where? We're all together. That has come up a number of times. Where are you all together? Downstairs in the kitchen? Heading west. It feels like, when you're at like a big like family like holiday party, that's what it feels like now. Like it slowly started ramping up. Like I would say you folks are like the peak of that energy. Like the first group would have been like, the first people to come or the first people to leave, right? Yeah. So that would be the same feeling in like the spirit realm. However, a whole village. Yeah. That's what it feels like. The hosts would, it's almost like the kids, when kids get, like, little kids get really excited when they're, like, up past their bedtime and, like, stuff like that. That's what it feels like for me. I don't know.
Over there.
Super exhausted. Wow. Whereabouts are you right now? You said over there, but we need a direction.
Thank you. Who's going next?
I think we have one group left.
Speak into that.
Are you speaking into the microphone here?
It's very simple.
It can be. It's not as simple for others as it is for some.
They're linking 94. Where are we? I barely dropped it. Hopefully this doesn't reset, but I wanted to pause it there because that's another instance where it's this, they're instructing, they're helping. There's someone helping someone else on how to communicate through us, to us. And I just find that really interesting. Okay, I'm going to put it back.
So, are you talking about the balcony?
Over here. Firstborn.
Is your name Anna
29.
Catherine?
Spirit.
Is it your...
It's on the radio.
Yeah, you are communicating on the radio. Are you, Anna Catherine, are you the small child that's been, like, showing me on a loop coming from the turret in a loop through this room into the boys' room, through the sewing room?
I want to play with them.
Who is it that you're trying to...
Help them with the stairs.
There's stairs that go up to the turret. Oh.
Player.
Were you playing with spirits?
Good work.
Were you playing with spirits when you were in that loop?
It's me, Anna.
That face, I usually call that my holy shit face.
Over there.
Thank you so much for your confirmation. I know that it takes a lot of energy to do that.
Dream on.
Do you communicate via dreams? The day that you're showing with you coming down from the turret, is that the day that you ate the berries?
Going west.
That's the second time she said
I had no time.
Is Horseshoe Bay west from here? Would that be west?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because when
Inherited
when
from my father.
when Anna, the first Anna passed, they went to Horseshoe Bay,
Hear me.
which would have been west.
Now switch.
Because no, is it time? It is within 10 seconds.
Wow.
I do too.
Do you have any? Thank you so much for all of this information.
Okay, so that one was a juicy one. There's a lot to unpack there. But, like, again, we have this theme of them instructing each other. This is you talk, and, like, I think radio was said at one point,
Yeah.
and
Spirits.
yeah, and, like, over here and stuff like that. And then the Anna stuff starts coming in.
The whole fam, I think, was when I was like, this is fucking so important.
Mm.
And then firstborn.
Yeah, firstborn.
Play with, help them with the stairs, because I thought those stairs were, like, connected to that loop that I was seeing.
Yeah.
The mention of going west and the Horseshoe Bay, like, feeling of, like, saying Horseshoe Bay, and then immediately after you channeling the word inherited, felt very intense because
what was it? Inherited by father.
Yeah, because Gustav was sailing or boating and saw Horseshoe Bay and decided, I'm gonna live there. We're gonna build there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they had a vacation home.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So then this, like, going west
yeah, I had to ask the
clarification.
The guests, like, is that, like, where's Horseshoe Bay from here? Is that west? And I confirmed it.
Like, there's pictures in that room of Roedde family members they're in the water in their little bathing suits
in Horseshoe Bay.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then is that the first? That's not
That's
the
the
first
first-
time.
That's the
Anna-
first time I've
Okay,
heard
so
that.
that's the first time. Anna.
It's me, Anna.
It's me, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
And at this time, I still, even though I asked, is this Anna Catherine? I asked if it was Anna Catherine.
Mhm.
But when I was writing it all down, I was thinking of the Anna Henrietta.
Mhm.
So very interesting.
Yeah. So good.
I know.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Anna, I don't want to walk.
Where don't you want to walk to? Where are you headed?
I'm coming back. It's Rich. You're pretty close. Stand here.
Where are you standing?
They might come.
Where in the room should we be standing?
And then they leave. I'll take the stairs.
The stairs. Which stairs? There's like 4.
Wow. It's close to me.
The close one?
I play nice.
We've come to realize that. Thank you so much. Do you have a favorite game other than just running
Out of
about?
time. It turns off.
It does. Yes. It doesn't
The
stay
office.
on. How,
This house.
I was just gonna ask if it was the office here. Do you have a way to
Stir it up. I'm in the ocean. Scenic. They're waiting for me. Tonight. Fun never ends.
How old are you?
It's waning.
We-
Take me home.
Nope. I will not.
In the hall. Big
So,
spirit.
You can't just like hitchhike.
I asked it.
You did, but you can't just hitchhike into my mirror.
Next time.
Maybe. I'll think about it. Goodbye.
You looking?
Where would you like us to look?
No, Anna. Stay there.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna. Does anybody?
I was hiding.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah.
so, so good.
I really that end piece.
No,
where-
Anna.
Yeah, it's because it's like we're like when I listened to it today, I was like, were we just intercepting a moment between the mother and the daughter? Because it was like, are you looking for me?
Yeah.
No, Anna, stay there. I was hiding.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you see what do you see what I'm saying? It's like
I thought it was Matilda saying, "No, Anna, you can't go home with them."
Oh, okay. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both are very plausible in
Yeah.
this situation, and both hold that intercepting, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it definitely did feel like a mom and a child speaking to each other
for sure.
through you. Yeah.
And there was that like little bit of back and forth.
The ocean and scenic really, like, that part gave me chills in the
Yeah.
moment because we had just talked about Horseshoe Bay, and
then it came up again.
the ocean came up again, and there was you clipped it out, but there's a mention of holiday and a better room. So I asked about something, I can't remember, but the Anna I don't want to walk was very childlike as well, which is really beautiful. Like, it's just like a kid, like, I don't want to walk.
Yeah.
And at the moment that the "Can I come home with you" came up, the visitors, the guests that were on the tour, the person who was sitting next to my mirror at the wash basin stand where my mirror was, their EMF reader went off.
Mhm.
That's the beeping that you can hear.
Yeah, you can hear it briefly. There's there was more, but it was because they're like cut.
Yeah.
But it went off, and then I think I said big spirit. Right after that. So that was really interesting.
It was
definitely something hanging around
such a good
your
session.
mirror.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah, like, maybe I can just slip in here. And
yeah.
That's why I said you can't hitch a ride. And then, no, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can't go home with them. Or, can you find me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so fucking cool.
I mean, yeah, I like both fit really well.
They do,
like,
yeah.
There's, can I come home with you? No, Anna. And then there's you looking?
You looking?
No, Anna. Stay there. I was hiding.
Stay there.
Yeah. Like both fit. I
love
I like-
this session
this is one of
7.
those moments where the perceptions are different,
Yeah.
the experiences are different, but neither one is right or wrong.
Yeah.
They both have validity. They
And
both,
value. Yeah.
They both have value.
They both bring something to the experience.
Yes. So like this is what I was like griping about is because in other situations
It's a good hot take.
you see people who are like, no, my thing is right. I think my thing is right.
That's so exhausting. Like, why the fuck does it matter?
You know, like imagine if you told me, well, I thought of it this way, and I was like, no, I heard
We
it like,
wouldn't be friends or doing this podcast.
like this. So that's what happened. Like,
I dare anybody to come on this podcast and talk to me like that, or talk to you like that.
No, you don't talk to my.
No,
don't talk to my friend like that.
Bad puppy. We don't hit puppies.
No, we don't. Okay, so we have one more.
I remember this session being so interesting, and I only wrote 2 words. That's how in the moment I was though. Like I couldn't keep up with how fast my brain was going.
We were also exhausted. Also, at this point,
true.
I thought for some reason I thought that the 7th session was the last one.
Somebody told us it was. Not naming names. It wasn't Sarah or Lydia, just saying.
Oh, okay. And I started packing up. All the stuff. I was like starting to like
wind down,
ground myself, and I was like, "Okay, we did such a good job. We're ready to go."
I went down to the bathroom, and then I was like, "Get your shit ready."
And you came up, and you were like, "There's one more group." And I was like, "What?" And quickly set everything back up. Luckily, it's not a lot of stuff to set back up, but that was kind of annoying. And it was like as a neurodivergent person, when you start to transition out of the activity into a different thing, and then having to flip back, I was like, pat myself on the back that I took it in stride.
Do so. You fucking did it.
And it was ended up being
it was a fun group.
Left it on a great note. Like it ended on a really great note. So worked out for the best, I guess. Okay. We came here.
Where did you come from?
For a souvenir. I want to pretend.
That's been a theme. Hide and seek was what you were interested in playing a couple hours ago. So what do you want to pretend?
It feels good.
To pretend? There's lots of toys in here to play pretend with.
It's cold sometimes.
It can get cold, yeah.
I want to run. My favorite.
Is it your favorite? So the information that I was receiving before all the sessions was there was an energetic burst.
Put on music.
Do you want to dance? What is your favorite song?
Poor child.
On a loop, like why Poor Child?
Standing beside you. Keep playing.
For your sake, I'll assume that it's me. My
daughter.
Do you have any messages for them as they explore the rest of the house?
3 of us.
What are your names?
We're here.
Thank you for confirming your presence. Can you clarify?
No. Get ready. And may I have a seat?
You can, yeah. Where would you like to sit? You can sit on the bed. You can try to sit on Luna.
Staying up late.
Yeah, it definitely feels like kids past their bedtime, for sure.
Last group. Talk about her.
Who would you like us to talk about? Before we say goodbye to this lovely group of people, would you like to say something to them before they leave the house or go to the next space? Do you have a message for them? Do you want them
Get to the closet.
I've been meaning to ask.
Hide and
Sarah.
seek.
Yes, I knew it.
Downstairs closet.
Is it the downstairs?
Downstairs closet. I was like, there's something going on behind that door, and then like, oh my god, it's happening again.
Interesting, because
In the bedroom.
Who's
there,
gonna look there?
In the bedroom there, that little closet.
Did you look?
I wanted to so bad. Please let me.
Can you confirm that you understood and heard, Brandon?
I've never had a cassette before.
I don't know if that's a confirmation or.
Who wants to look?
Brendan does. Okay, I'm gonna pull her out. Thank you so much for your time, your space, your energy. Thank you so much for your messages, for being with us this evening. Luna's gonna come out now. Well, the first couple where I was just trying to find my groove.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think that? I mean,
The
again,
hide and seek was it was so
just the way that ended.
yeah, it was so fun, and he was so excited, and I love that he also like just followed his intuition, and had
Like he knew exactly what closet in the house that he wanted to go look in. And it's funny because we all went downstairs after, or we were downstairs, and he had asked, "Can I look in this closet?" And other people were like, "Well, it's just a closet. There's just like some electrical stuff in there. It's not a big deal." And we're trying to explain, like, no, like this is meaningful to our experience.
Which is also one of the, like, a little gripe, because like, don't downplay what somebody is excited about in a paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
Like that feels shitty, and so what if it's just electrical stuff? It might not have been an electrical room in wherever the spirit's time was,
Yeah. And it might close the connection.
Yeah. And
like
that's the person experiencing it. And I kind of like tried to talk over top of the person that was saying it and be like, make sure that you say like found you, so that you can, because that's what I fucking would have done if I was invited to play goddamn hide and seek with a spirit. Come on. Like fun.
They're like the ultimate hiders, because everyone knows you found them.
You just gotta guess. Like, found you.
So yeah, that's it. Was there anything else significant from that?
No.
They said the last group.
So okay, their awareness. Oh my. Their awareness of the cycles of the participants and the guests that were coming through and experiencing the tours was fascinating to me, because that came up in a couple sessions, like at least the 6 to the 8, like 3 sessions.
Yeah.
And so like the mention of it being the last group, like it was their awareness of being present with us in those moments was so impactful, huge.
Yeah. It's like you have the theory and these moments that seem like it's like a loop in time.
Yeah.
Right? Like the stone tape theory, right?
Exactly.
But
like
then
the
you
stone
also
tape theory,
have this sentience coming through.
Yeah.
Where while you're experiencing these moments that are just like, little glimpses of the past, of something that happened, they're also connecting and interacting with you in the present moment.
Yeah.
And it's like you have these both of these things happening at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's fucking so cool.
It's so cool, yeah.
And amazing. And I love that it ended out the way that it did. The closet, the hide and seek, like it was so playful. Like throughout all of the sessions, we had this theme, this playing, this childlike play, and it's interesting to me because you watch some people who, like Ghost Bros on TV, and they go into spaces and they're yelling at the space, and they're demanding the spirits perform, and like all of that. And they'll come out, oh, I was so scared, I had this, everything was terrible, and blah blah blah, and they have these scary, awful experiences, right? And I know a lot of it is for TV and show factor, but when we go into a space, we go in with curiosity and kindness and like respect, and we seem to have very different experiences than other people that I have seen, right? And I know that's not the case for everything. Like, there's so much nuance to that.
Yeah.
Like, I know it depends on the space, but we went into a family home.
Yeah.
And we had this like fun experience where it's like we were playing playing hide and seek.
I think it also goes to show you the care that we took before you went into the Estes Method as well.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at the space.
Yeah.
We looked at the teddy bears. We looked at the dolls with the human hair on them.
Yeah.
They're from Germany. They were in the picture in
yeah.
that Luna ship. We looked at the books on the table. We read the literature that was left by the Roedde House tour guides.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in all the rooms. Like, they have such
It's
cute.
so cool.
It's so cool. I'll share one of the pictures because it's like the give little girls like pretend coffins.
Oh, the
pretend the funeral the funeral dolls.
Yeah.
And that goes to show how different the funerary realm is right now, because women were often the caretakers of the dead in their families, right?
Yeah.
So we should have a whole fucking conversation around that with Karina.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, we took the time to connect to the space, not just on a let's talk to a spirit level, but also like what is in the room, what is in here. When Sarah came in and checked on us, we asked her questions about, the two Annas, and we asked, we found some funny, there was another like kind of like darker history that the Rattenberries had experienced. Do you remember that? Okay.
Refresh.
Helen Mirren starred in a movie called she played Alma Rattenberry, the wife, I think, of Rattenberry, of the architect. It's called Cause Celebre. I am a terrible French linguist. I'm so sorry. It's 1987. It was a TV movie. They played it. They play old movies at the Roedde House. But so when Rattenberry went back to the UK with his mistress.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Keep going.
With his mistress, his mistress started another affair with their chauffeur, and the chauffeur murdered Rattenberry, and he died in the UK. So we learned like a ton of information about the space, the architecture, the family, the people. Yeah, exactly. So I think that goes to show like we don't like, we got a lot of like interesting like true crime stuff about it, but we didn't ask questions about how did you die, and like I find that
focus on the tragedies.
No, and I find that a lot of fucking people in the paranormal, that's what they do, and it's irritating because it's so boring. Like, I'm not saying that death is boring. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that murder is a boring topic. It is an important topic that true crime does fit into our collective culture right now.
Yeah.
But there is a way that can be supportive of the victims, and it can be supportive of the information and the stories behind what happened.
Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of it is the opposite of that. It's exploited.
Well, and it's just like what you said, is that we don't go in like, oh, I'm going to be so terrified because there was 3 tragic deaths in this house. Like, fuck that noise. Like, that is like so unimaginative. I'm just going to say it. It's fucking boring. So I'm happy that we had a really sweet moment with the house, the sentient energy, whatever was willing to communicate with us in all of those 8 sessions. And I hope that other people take a little bit from that as well.
Yeah.
Because there's so much energy in that space. It's not just the roadies in there. It's like there's so many Victorian
and it's not
things.
just traumatic.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not just traumatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It was such a good night. And these are just things that I notice in how we come at the paranormal and we explore the paranormal. And I just wish that more people would come at it from these types of ways.
Yeah. Because then maybe we'll get less Ghost Bro shows.
No ghost.
Maybe we'll get
so
like
done.
Okay, but the thing is, like, you can have an interesting show. Like, look at what you did with our clips. You took 15-minute sessions, broke them down into the relevant information. Like, that's there. It's
Yeah.
I hope that we are going to see more of the types of paranormal investigations that we are interested in seeing.
Yeah.
In the cinemancy sphere, you know?
Yeah.
So I have hope for the future in that regard, but I'm fucking done, just like you. I'm done with being bored and disappointed with the Ghost Bros that are continuously just so fucking disappointing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my concluding thoughts are I really I want to go back. I want to go back to the Roedde House and I want to explore it more.
Yeah.
But without the tour aspect. And I'm not saying that wasn't fun. It was a blast. I had so much fun. And it was so much fun showing people what we do and how we do it.
You want to go on a tour, is what I'm hearing.
But I'd like to experience the house when it's quiet.
Yeah.
I want to experience the house when there's not really anybody else in it.
For my concluding thought, I would also like to say that experiencing and exploring haunted or older buildings and places when things are quiet is ideal. And I think that would be wonderful. And the parlor is a really interesting space. I love kitchens. I really want to look at just sit in the kitchen for a little bit. You can tell that a lot of when I go in the kitchen, I expect to feel like at home, but I feel more at home in the staff kitchen than I do in the original kitchen, because I feel like there's not a lot of the original kitchen there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I always expect to feel like something.
Yeah.
And when I go in, I'm like, that's just a kitchen. Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah.
But that makes sense, because now the more energy from people would be happening in the staff kitchen.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, because they did the restoration and there's not a lot of original stuff, it's just not holding that residual energy.
Possibly, or because it's not being used as, it's just it's just a room.
Have that kitchen hearth energy, part of the home.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. I like that.
So like you said in your post from the weekend, yes, this more please.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that saying so much, and I can never remember where I got it from, but it works. So if you ever need a little spell to say whenever you have like a really great moment, or something wonderful happens to you, or you have a really great conversation with somebody, say out loud, yes, this, more, please.
I love it. That's such a good spot to conclude it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
sharing this lovely podcast space with me.
Thank you for always having me over. We passed each other on the road the other day, and it was like
Literally
we both
the
fucking
cutest
cried because like how does that happen?
Especially
it's because we said yes, this more, please, just so you know.
Yeah, it is. Especially finding out that where I was headed, you would just come
leave.
left. So bizarre.
And when I got here today, I was like, something smells so good. And then I put my head on you like probably like 15, 20 minutes later. And I was like, it's you that smells so good. And you were like, I got this, blah, 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 from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was fucking there yesterday. And you were like, I was fucking there yesterday. And then that's how we found that out.
Yeah.
So anyways, we love each other. It's disgusting. And we will see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.